Walt Disney Imagineering just released a new episode of its We Call It Imagineering YouTube series with this new episode titled Soundscapes. But what's really getting attention is that the latter half of the episode focused on the music of Tiana's Bayou adventure and offered a spoiler-filled first look inside the ride. I'm talking multiple ride scenes, effects, and even the big Mardi Gras finale we've been hearing about. So I'm going to show you what Imagineering revealed in this episode. I'm going to break down a few details and maybe point out a few things you might have missed. Now, the episode starts off showing some hazy blink and you miss it shots of various ride details, but later on, and once the focus shifts to Tiana's, we get some equally blurry glimpses of the queue. Some of these shots we've seen already, and actually you can see if you've been to Magic Kingdom recently, but then we got a look at some of the Magic Band touch points, which appear to be washboards. Very cute detail, followed by a peek at the loading area. Next, in a recording studio, we get quick peeks of new black and white animated photos showing Tiana's father's World War I story, something the Disney Parks blog recently revealed and I discussed in a previous news video. Again, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they incorporated this expanded character storyline into the ride. Now here's where it gets really exciting, and fair warning, spoilers start here, and like I said, there are a lot. So our first look inside the ride begins with PJ Morton and Imagineer Trisha Holloway at the loading area, which I'm thinking is part of Tiana's foods. Once they're aboard, we can see a crane loading crates in the background, so this may be a boarding area not only for guests, but also for Tiana's business ventures. Next, we see the backside of Tiana's water tower, which is expected to read "Never lose sight of what's really important," which is something Tiana said her father never did in the Princess and the Frog film. We then get to see some exterior portions of the ride, including a mural showing vegetables, which is likely part of Tiana's foods. And then we get to an interior lift hill, which definitely appears to be part of Tiana's business. Not only do we see an audio animatronic of Tiana, but she's surrounded by crates of goods and supplies and ingredients. As we move into the interior portion of the attraction, we see another Tiana audio animatronic and some firefly effects in the background. And then we get a shot of the musical animal characters or critters that Imagineering created just for this ride, and they're playing their instruments. Now, the next ride scene really piqued my interest as it's one of the ride's drops, but it has a multicolored lighting effect, something Splash Mountain did not have, and it seems to transition into a scene where everything is huge. You can see giant mushrooms, giant flowers, and in the distance, in the backdrop, you see a shot of a giant Tiana and maybe Louis. Again, not really sure what's happening here, but I'm thinking that we're shrunk down at some point as maybe one of the swamp animals or one of Ray's firefly relatives. Next, we get to see the ride's big finale scene. I am so surprised Disney is showing this to us now and ahead of the ride's opening, but hey, we'll take it. So we can see Tiana's friend Charlotte on the left, characters dancing on the right, and I also noticed, I think we get, and I think his name is pronounced Larry, I could be wrong about that, but he's an armadillo who's expected to have his own mini story throughout the ride, kind of like Pluto and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. But Larry can be seen on the right as well. We also finally get a view of Prince Naveen. This is the first time we're seeing his audio animatronic. We also see Tiana wearing her crown, more of the musical Bayou critters, and Louis playing his trumpet. After leaving the finale scene behind, I did notice a backdrop of the New Orleans skyline, which shows Tiana's restaurant from the film. Then we get another view of Tiana, Louis, the animals, as just a reminder of how great these audio animatronics really are. And then lastly, and I should say finally, we get to see Mama Odie. Well, that's all this new episode of We Call It Imagineering showed of Tiana's Bayou adventure, but it's safe to say that it's way more than fans were expecting to see. However, I think that might have been strategic, as I think the amount of footage not only exceeded expectations, but also the quality and entertainment value of the show scenes. I think the narrative going into this attraction's opening will only continue to be positive as a result, and while I've yet to see Tiana's Bayou Adventure in person for myself, I think it's already won me over. Now, there is a ton of more news and reveals on the way and ahead of Tiana's Bayou Adventures June 28th opening. But if you enjoyed this video, I would so appreciate if you would give it a like and consider subscribing. I'm a travel and entertainment reporter with a particular passion for the Disney parks, and I love sharing the latest about my magical home away from home, along with some of my travel adventures. But regardless, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a magical day.